1 year ago, the shooting on Fountain Square brought us all together.
It also created a lasting friendship between a survivor who was shot 12 times and the Cincinnati police officer who saved her.
What was your first inkling that you had victims?
The very first one was my approach. I saw Whitney on the ground, and she was in that revolving door, stuck.
I knew, as a person of faith, I knew where I was going. And I didn't want it to be the end. I was worried about my family, but I just, in some ways, had peace about what was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Al came out of nowhere.
She looks at me eye to eye and says, "Hey, you have to help me. I'm married and I have 2 kids and I want to be a mommy again."
And I could see the fear in his eyes. It was difficult to understand or comprehend why he wasn't immediately saving me, but I now know there's protocol. You have to make sure that you eliminate the danger, you take down the shooter so that no one else can be harmed or injured.
That there's no more shots being fired. I said, this is our time. Another officer, Darren Holderline, helped me pick her up out of the bed of glass. And then he actually took my spot, and I helped Whitney over to a marble flagpole.
Have you seen the picture of you laying on the flagpole?
Yes, it was impossible to avoid that one. It's okay. It's okay. It's what happened.
Me being a spiritual person, there was a prayer on my way there, and then a prayer that she survives this.
I'm not a physician. I don't know, what physicians know, but what I knew about my situation once I got to Al and out was that I was breathing deeply without really much difficulty, and my heart was beating strongly, and I knew that my head had not been hit and that I was making decisions and calling shots and all of that, and I thought these are 3 really good things.
I mean, we have gloves, things that we need to put on to that, but it went straight to saving her life or trying to save her life.
They couldn't put one on my right arm because it was too badly damaged, but they put one on my left arm, and then they tried to do everything to make me comfortable. I remember they took off my shoes. I told them I couldn't sit up, it was too difficult, so they laid me back.
I asked her, is there somebody I can call for you? And she says, yes. Can you call my husband?
And this is another funny moment. I remember I gave him my phone number instead of my husband's phone number. So he said, Whitney, that's your number. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, here's Waller's number.
Hey, there's been an incident in Cincinnati and your wife was involved. She's alert. She was injured in this, but she's alert and she's talking to me.
He passed the phone over to me, and back to me being focused on what I had to do to survive. I didn't even tell him I loved him. I said, I've been shot so many times, it hurts so badly, but I am breathing deeply, my heart is beating just fine, and my brain is working, so just get up here. That's all I said. I have such regrets that I didn't say more, but that is all I said.
I didn't do it all by myself. From the first caller to the call taker to the dispatcher to displaying it to the officers. To her will to live. She had a will to live.
Al is a really important person in my life.
And Whitney considers you a friend.
Whitney is Whitney. Whitney is something else. Yes, she's called me. She's sent me pictures that she wouldn't be able to have Halloween, Christmas with her kids.
Have you been back to Fountain Square?
I did go back to Fountain Square. I didn't go into the building, but I don't know that I need to because I actually never made it into the building. I only made it into the revolving door, and it was a couple of months ago, and I felt like I was making it a thing. You can't go back there, and I'm not one to not do things, so I said, you're gonna do this, you're gonna go try it. And as we started to come around and get closer to the revolving door, I got emotional, and it's just hard to describe the feeling in the pit of my stomach. So I started to think I would just back away from it. And then out of nowhere, on the intercom, Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody played. And that probably sounds really trivial and silly, but I love Whitney Houston's music. I love dancing to that song with my kids, and it was such a goosebump moment. course that's the song that's playing. You're not here to think about this revolving door and all the, horrific things that happened within it. You are here to be reminded that you got out of that door and you got to go back to your kids and you got to listen and dance again to Whitney Houston with them. That is all that matters. This door means nothing.
Wow. Well, this story is the first of many amazing stories we will share with you over the next 24 hours in our Cincy Strong coverage. Tomorrow, you'll hear from other survivors, eyewitnesses, and the families of those we lost on a day that forever changed our city. What incredible strength and courage from both of them, really.
Yeah, really powerful story, and it was nice of them to share with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.